to one and all gathered here. On behalf of Sona School of Management, we welcome everyone for the webinar on career opportunities for MBA students, presented by Subhash Franklin, Principal Consultant, Growth and Innovation, InnoMantra, and founder of JobBridge. Mr. Subhash Franklin, we are very glad to have you today here, sir. Mr. Subhash Franklin brings with him 20 years of experience in helping businesses solve their growth challenges across both multinational companies and Indian challenger businesses. He has worked on companies like Intel, Ford, Lenovo, Aegon Life Insurance, and Future Group. Beyond this MBA, he holds specialization degrees from Harvard on disruptive tech strategy for growth and innovation and in behavioral economics from Duke University. We are very privileged in having such a reputed personality here for our webinar today. Thank you so much for your consent, sir. We'll start with it.
Hello, can everyone see my slides? Can someone respond saying you can see the slides?
Yes,
so then
yes,
I can start off.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, so this is, for my understanding, this is going to be a one-side conversation, or is it going to be, the students can also speak? How is it? Hello? Can anyone?
Yes, sir. Mostly the chat room is used for communication with students, sir. Anything as you wish.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll start and I'm going to make it as interactive as possible. We will try and wind up by around around 5:15 and be free as possible. It's consider me as one of your seniors. Don't look at me as someone who's actually working in the corporate thing. So I'm going to make it as interactive as possible, and I'm going to pause at certain places and ask opinion of the students. So anyone can unmute their mic and then speak. Okay, so I'm just starting off with an interactive question itself. Does anyone know what's the meaning of job bridges? Because the name has got a, a meaning within it. Can anyone unmute their mic and actually say what do you actually mean by job bridge? I mean,
attendance strength ரொம்ப poor. Attendance.
Okay. Can someone in the group say what's the meaning of a job bridge? You have two words, which is job and bridge. I mean, can anyone in the group take a guess what's the meaning is?
A connection between the industry curriculum and the students, probably.
Absolutely, that's exactly right. Can I know your name? Good name, please. I mean, I can't see the screen. That's why.
So, yeah, my name is Niveta Shriepi, sir.
Okay, Niveta, I think that's absolutely bang on. So the whole idea was that name it in such a way, saying that people get the meaning. So what JobBridge does is it takes the curriculum that you are studying in the school and in the campus, and we build a bridge to the corporate world. That's that idea behind JobBridge. So this is a quick brief about me. I'm the founder of JobBridge, but I also work. I mean, my full-time job is I'm a principal consultant at an innovation consulting firm called Innomandra in Bangalore. We have offices in India and across the world. So I lead their innovation and growth practice. So that's a little bit of background about me. So I want to start with a very, very simple thing. This is about your job. This is not about me, or this is not about even JobBridge also. But the whole idea is it's about your job, your career, and the best way that you can start your career. So I want to start with a very simple question. Don't give me a textbook definition of what is a business. Can anyone tell me in very simple language? It is like an uneducated person should also be able to understand what a business is. Can anyone tell me what's a business is? You can unmute your mic and speak. We'll just spend 2 minutes on this so that we go. Can anyone tell me what is a
Hi,
business?
sir.
Very.
Hi, sir. I'm Jitendra. I would like to share my answer here.
Yeah, tell me.
It's like somewhere you give something and get back something in return. By the by, where there is a profit on both the sides. That is how I see
Absolutely.
businesses.
Absolutely, Jitendra. Fantastic. This is the right answer, which is so simple. So you are producing and selling a product or a service. The cost price should be, I mean, what you call less than the selling price, and you make a profit. Absolutely bang on. This is the correct definition. You don't need a textbook. This is the right answer. So I'm going to come. So that's a business. That is what you've been studying. Now I'm going to ask you, why should a business hire you? Like you guys are on the, if I got it right, your Professor Emmanuel told me saying that you are on the 4th sem, if I'm right. So why should, I'm asking you in a little time, in another couple of months, you'd be going out into the corporate world. I'm asking a very simple question. Why should a business hire you? I mean, anyone can answer, and there is no right or wrong answers. You're free to, it's like a discussion. Why should a business hire you? Anyone can answer.
I think I can go on again, sir.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Jitendra.
It's like where I get in and I tend to provide a percentage of profit for the company or for the business. And at the same time, I get to get a profit, or an example, like I get paid where there is profit on both sides in the same point.
Absolutely.
So
Again, you are actually brilliant, Jitendra. So it's very simple. Look at a business like this. You want to buy a mobile phone, you pay some money. In return, you get a mobile phone. That's it. Same way, when a business is hiring you, when they come to your campus, when they are recruiting students, they pay you a salary. And in exchange, what you're giving them your talent, your knowledge, whatever you have learned. And all this you put together to enable them make profit, because that's the first answer that you told me in the previous slide. Business is all about selling a product and a service and making money. So the okay, I think people are chatting and the screen is switching, that's why. Okay, so this is Jitendra, as you have actually given me the right answer, saying that when a business hires you, and that is why they are paying you salary, you help them achieve their goals, which is very, very simplistic definition. Fantastic. That's the kind of energy that you should have in your group. So pretty simple. Now, Jitendra, or anyone, Jitendra or anyone in the group can actually answer. Now, this is typically the job scenario in India. You have a lot of candidates out in the market, and typical thing is most of the candidates, most of the MBA students are somewhat the same. But if you want to increase your chance of getting a better placement, a better job, a better salary, you have to differentiate yourself. You have to show that you are much smarter than the kid probably sitting next to you. And it's a pretty competitive environment. Do you agree with this? I mean, you have to be different so that companies start looking at you differently. Can you give me a yes, no? I mean, do you agree with this fundamental hypothesis?
Definitely, yes, sir.
Absolutely. So you need to be, and so we are all in agreement saying that we need to differentiate ourselves. Our CVs need to be different. Our projects need to be different. Even you look at our real life. We all dress differently. We all have a unique style. That is what makes us different, and that is what people remember us for. keeping this simple in mind, I'm going to show you a story. Now, this is a story which I got from Business Insider. Okay, what is the story? The story is about a young student like you. I mean, I think it can be, you can put your picture in this slide, and it can be easily be you guys. So this is the story of a kid who joined as an intern, and he wrote a mail to his CEO how he can improve the business process, and he got promoted to a CEO. That's the story. So, and this group who told me saying that when someone is hiring you, you are actually enabling them make more money. And this is the story. This is the exact story. You never saw this slide. You told this story. This is the story of a kid who wrote a mail to his CEO telling how the business process can improve, which will ultimately result in a profit. So I mean, I do. Does anyone in this group want to write a mail like this when they go into a company? Give me a shout out. Yes, no. Oh, are you interested in doing this? I'm going to show you something. Are you anyone interested in this? Anyone wants to write a
Yes,
mail?
sir.
Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to show you another story also here. Now this mobile company called Realme. The CEO of Realme India put out a PR report saying that if anyone has got ideas, please come to me directly. It's an open thing. So, and in this particular case, I just picked it up from a marketing, what do you call, a magazine. But so if anyone has got good content or ideas, they can pitch to me anytime. It's like an open invite to all the students. You have this happening now, not only in the consumer space, you have hackathons happening in the IT space. So unlike the earlier system of job where you need to give a resume, then you have a campus placement. Now it's becoming much more democratic. Now big companies like Amazon and even Apple in the US and even Google are not valuing college degrees to a very large extent because it's becoming an open talent pool. So this is the kind of environment which we are actually seeing in the job market. So this is the space that we actually play in, and this is where we want to position JobBridge. Now there is a group of companies who is sitting and asking, okay, help me. It's like this group. I think Jitendra told me saying that your job is to actually enable the company make a profit, and that is why they should hire you. And how do you generate? So before you meet a company, how do you generate an idea so that the company gets impressed in you? Your CV stands different. So that's that whole space. Are you guys with me on this? I mean, like, can I get a yes, no, so that I can continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So this is the conventional job. This is the conventional job approach. Now I'll tell you, even around, I mean, I'm close to working around some 21 years right now in the consulting field. But when I started off in college, this used to be my CV. I mean, you had your CV, you had your educational qualifications, and you had a project. Other than that, you have nothing in your CV. Now, this is like in a batch. I still remember it was 32 students. All the 32 students' CV was somewhat like this. Our projects keep varying. Other than that, the CVs are somewhat the same. We study the same subjects. I mean, here and there, the percentage goes up and down. So our CVs sounded very similar. Our projects at times also sounded very similar. So this whole hypothesis, remember the fish, what do you call it, the bowl that we saw? Every CV starts looking the same. How do you find out? How do you differentiate yourself? And that's that task which is very critical so that you can get a good job, a good salary. Okay, so what are we talking of in this meeting, in this webinar? What I want to talk to you of is a different approach. Is along with your CV, what I would suggest is you should have, like, whenever you go into a meeting, whenever you go into an interview, whenever you have in your campus, a college visiting you, you should have, along with your CV, a bunch of ideas. Now, when I looked at when I had a chat with Professor Emmanuel in the morning and I looked at your website, there are companies like Amazon coming into your campus, then you have TCS coming into your campus, then you have DMart coming into your campus. So When this company walks into your campus, like Jitendra told earlier in the slide, I mean earlier when we were presenting, saying that when this company walks into our campus, you should have something along with your CV saying that, okay, sir, I have two ideas to discuss with you. I mean, if it is a DMart, we researched about you. We have three ideas to discuss with you. So imagine that impact it will have when someone is coming into your campus, because you have done your research. You know what they're trying to do, what DMart is trying to do, coming to, say, for example, in TN. That's that it starts differentiating you and it starts pegging your value much higher. And what happens is when you have a bunch of students like this in your campus, the companies who come to your campus also starts what you call valuing your campus much higher. I mean, that's that kind of scenario that we actually want to work on. So, and this is what JobBridge's whole idea is about. How do you bridge? Now, you have studied your college, your curriculum, your syllabus have taught you everything. But what JobBridge does is very simple. We take that idea because fundamentally you know everything. We are going to take those ideas which is already there in you and we are going to flip it slightly. It's like in cricket, what we call it's the Asruddin flip. In the sense like we'll do a small flip and that is what is actually going to create a big impact in your interviews, in your placements. Okay, that's so I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to play you a small video about what JobBridge is, and then we'll play a game. It's not a presentation. I'm going to play a small video of what JobBridge is, what the idea behind JobBridge is, and then we'll play a game.
Mr. Franklin, audio, can you check, sir? Yeah.
Pardon me?
Audio, sir, audio.
Oh, okay. I'm on full audio. I'm on full audio. Let me see if in case the audio is not streaming well, I'll just sum it up. Okay, let me play this video and then we'll do that. Okay, so was everyone able to hear the video, or was there any problem on the video? Could everyone hear the video? I mean, the audio, in a sense. Was it clear?
No, sir.
No, sorry. The
No,
audio
sir.
wasn't there,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Only
okay.
the video was there.
Okay, so let me sum up because usually you have this problem on when you stream something over the web. So what I'm saying is in JobBridge, what we have done is we have picked up consultants who have worked for around 20-25 years in the industry. And a typical consultant has got these frameworks: how to solve a problem, how to generate ideas, how to identify problems, how to find out revenue seepages. So what we have done is we have taken these frameworks, simplified this, and this is what we are actually teaching the students. Not to say teaching the students, we are giving them these frameworks, and I am going to show them to you. So what we are trying to tell here is we have spent around 10, 20, 25, 30 years trying to, like from the college, we have been trying to solve problems for business and fix issues. So 25 years of experience, we have actually tried to sum it up, everything in a capsule form, and we are giving it to students like you at the beginning of their career. So that when you go into the corporate world, day one, you're confident. When you see a problem, you know how to solve it. And I'm going to demonstrate it to you. So this is the rough idea of JobBridge. Unfortunately, the video didn't stream correctly, but that's not an issue. But the gist of the video is this. So I'm going to show there are two modules that we are starting with. One is winning at corporate sales, and the other is outsmarting competition and developing breakthrough products and services. So why we are starting off with these two modules specifically is very simple. When you go for an interview, there are two components. One is your personality and your selling skill or your presentation skill, which is very, very critical. Like imagine DMart is coming to your campus. You should know something about DMart. You should understand what is DMart's future plans, what is their plan to enter TN, what is their struggle, where they didn't start off, where does Rajesh Damani come from. I mean, so you should understand, and that is where you are able to sell yourself, or you are able to present yourself much better when you understand that business. So this is where we teach that how to sell, how to identify. I'm going to demonstrate this for you. I mean, so you don't need to worry. The second module, so the second part is when DMart comes, you should be able to, it's like saying, like a good doctor, you should be able to look at that business Hello? Can someone confirm if they can see and hear the conversation? I
Yes,
think.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
okay, good. Extremely sorry. I think the, the internet connection. I mean, we were on this slide, particular slide. Okay. Can you see the deck? Can
Yes, sir.
someone?
We can see. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, very sorry that I'm asking you because I. Okay, so we were on this particular slide saying that there are two components. One is you have to present yourself in the best possible manner, understand that business, which is actually part of, I mean, sales. And the second is you should have some content around the business that you are approaching. So this is about how can you improve DMart's products, how can you improve DMart's omni-channel presence, whatever they are actually doing. So these are the two components that we are starting up, and I'm going to demonstrate how you can apply some of the frameworks. So today's webinar is very specifically, we are going to show you whichever company which comes to campus. Now you take TCS, you take DMart, you take MRF, you take CaratLane. I was just looking at all the companies who had come to your campus at some point of time. So any company which comes to your campus, you can use the framework to decide. I mean, how to generate ideas for that. So to make things simple, this is what we actually do in JobBridge, the modules. We teach you simple frameworks. A framework is nothing but an idea like a glass. You take the framework and you look through the framework, you will get the answers. It's as simple as that. So are you guys ready to play a game with me? Now let's understand a business and then play a game. I mean, are you guys ready to play a small business game with me? So it's nothing
Yes, sir.
theoretical. Fantastic. So I'm going to give you two choices, and we are going to play the game on the industry which you like the most. Okay, I'm going to give you two choices, and the group should pick up, and we play it together. Okay. So the first choice is, imagine Amazon comes to your campus. Okay, Amazon is launching its Amazon Prime Music. Okay, the task is very simple. Amazon wants to improve their playlist creation. I mean, we all like music, because this is a young bunch of people. So the task is very simple. I want to create a new playlist creation, what you call process or a frame, which is called UI UX in this industry. There's nothing which is concerned with what you call IT or your UI UX creation. It is nothing but I want to create a new playlist creation process, which makes it easier, much better than Spotify. So this is one option. We'll solve the case together with this group. So this is one case which I can give it to you. The second is you want to start a restaurant. Now, there are some people who want to work. There are some young kids who really want to go out. I'm saying that, I mean, I want to start a business of my own. I want to do a startup of my own. Which game do you play? Now we are going to do that exercise. Amazon comes to your campus. I mean, the task is very simple. I want to create a UI UX because Amazon is coming to your campus. You can say, I used your product. There are 5 ways I think I can improve it. That's the kind of conversation that smart kids should be having with employers. So the Amazon playlist creation list or this game, which game do you play? I mean, I would go, I am ready to go with the group, whatever the group tells me. Can anyone unmute their mic and say which case we want to go ahead with? I mean, I would definitely need an answer to go ahead.
Starting in restaurant, sir.
Fantastic. Your good name? I mean, I can't see your full name. It's showing S. That's it.
Srinivasan.
Srinivasan. Srinivasan. Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic, Srinivasan. So what I'm going to do is, Srinivasan, now there can be two scenarios. Srinivasan wants to start a restaurant, or it can be another scenario like, let's take McDonald's is actually coming to pick students from your campus. It can be two scenarios. Am I right? So Srinivasan,
Yes,
Srinivasan wants to start a restaurant, or it could be McDonald's coming to your campus to pick, like say store managers. It's as simple as that. So whatever I'm going to show, look at it from that perspective. Now, very simple. I think Jitendra in the earlier slide told the objective of business is very simple: to make money by selling a product or a service. And the second slide, Jitendra itself actually told me, saying that when someone hires, we should help them make more money. I think that's the answer. So when you start a restaurant also, or even if you're working for McDonald's, the answer is pretty simple. How do you make more money for them? And the person who makes the more money gets more promotion, more salary. That's the simple rule in life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of the frameworks which JobBridge teaches. Now, this is called job action stages. Now, you look at this 6 steps. You don't need anything which is complicated. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you 6 steps and I'm going to walk you through this restaurant case. And we will map it on any other case also, like in Salem, with pick up a business. We'll do that later. But so any job, if you starting a restaurant, if you are applying for the post of a manager in McDonald's, you have to do this 6 steps, like to increase sales. Like you have to end of the day sell a product or a service. You start with something which is called pre-job planning. If it is, if you are starting, like say for example, Srinivasan, if you are starting a restaurant, now you will start with the idea saying, okay, in Salem, what's the kind of restaurant which has got the potential? What should be the menu? Should it be a fast food restaurant? Should it be a fast dining restaurant? It should be a fine dining restaurant. I mean, you will decide. That's the pre-planning stage. Job execution is how should the restaurant be? How will the ordering, when customers come to your restaurant, how will the order standards be? Like in McDonald's, they have a simple rule which says that once you place the order, 6 minutes, you will get your order. So is the order placed on a kiosk? Will the waiter come? So there are multiple steps under that. So you just need to list it down. The third step is job monitoring and variance detection. The name itself is self-explanatory. So you have actually said, now when you place an order, the food should come to you in six minutes. But if the food is not coming to you in 6 minutes, you will write down problem number 1. Now there are no tables for customers to sit. So customers are standing in queue because that's against customer service. So once you identify these steps like job monitoring, once you'll identify the job and actually start monitoring for the variance, then you will say, okay, why is it that the food is not coming in 6 minutes? I mean, so what is the problem? Is there no enough kitchen equipments? Is there no enough personals at the kitchen? So you rectify that and then you do job conclusion. Job conclusion is nothing but after a customer comes and eats in your restaurant, you have to pay the bill. Now, is the bill going to be paid in credit card? It should be in coupons. So you do that. And post-job conclusion is how do you write a review? Like you want to tell your customers next week, we are going to have a Mexican food festival. So this 6 steps, what I'm actually talking can be applied to any scenario. Now, any job, like today, McDonald's is coming to your restaurant. Let's take another example, like say for example the playlist creation. It's very simple. Amazon Prime Music is a big business for them. So like pre-job planning, again it starts with which are all the hit music, film musics or pop music or rock music, which are all what kind of music you want to listen to. Now out of the top hits, which one do you want to listen to? Is it based on star rating, based on your likes and preference? So you drag and drop and put it. Now you drag and drop and put it. Some you don't like the quality of the music is not standardized. So you check, okay, you're not happy with it. So how do you rectify it? How do you you want to rearrange the songs? So you rearrange it and then you conclude. Say you give a name to the playlist. Like I have a playlist like for coming to office, going to office, for jogging. I have different playlists. So I write the name of the play, like jogging playlist number 1. And then post-job conclusion. Sometimes in the case of a restaurant, it is like telling next week we are going to have a Mexican food festival. If it is in the case of a playlist creation, it can be publishing these things. So what I'm saying is this framework that we teach in JobBridge can be applied to any kind of an industry, be it B2B, B2C, software development, product development, service development, anything. Because this is coming from Six Sigma, but we have actually simplified it. Now let's play a game. Now, can you guys tell me an industry which you would like to map using this framework? Any industry which you guys like? Any industry which is coming to your campus? I mean, can we take? I saw I saw one of your alumni got into MRF. Can we use this for MRF? Give me a shout. Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Absolutely. So we are going to use this same framework to map MRF's job. Okay. So in MRF, there can be two types of job that you do. One is like if you are a territory sales in charge or an area sales manager, MRF will sometimes tell you you bring new dealers. No, because that's the way the company distributes. So that is one type of a job that you'll do. The second is obviously after appointing a retailer or a dealer, you should actually get customers to walk into the dealer. Only then you will make money. No, end of the day, you have to sell more number of tires in the market. So which one do you want to take? You want to appoint a dealer or you want to sell tires? Tell me. The group tell me, we can map it.
We'll sell the
Sell
tires, sir.
tires, sir.
Okay, so I think Srinivasan has actually appointed a dealer in a place in Salem. Now the dealer is not able to get enough customers. So your manager is telling, why is this dealer not performing? Help, I mean, what you call work with the dealer and improve his performance. So Srinivasan is going to use the 6 steps to figure out how to improve his sales. Okay, so Srinivasan will actually go to the dealer store one day and figure out, okay, why aren't customers coming? Is this location right? So you look at, is the location of the dealer right? What kind of a customers surround what you call are working in that area? Is it more of students? Is it more of what you call office employees? Is it more of what you call factory people? Is it more of service employees? You will figure out what's the kind of, so that's the pre-planning. Like before someone walks into a dealer, you need to figure out what's the kind of what you call customer composition of your dealer. Second is like, say for example, you will actually figure out why are they not walking in. So you will say, okay, let's run a promo, let's distribute pamphlets, let's order a free let's give a free tire checkup, let's give a free engine oil checkup. So that is the execution. So what you will draw customers in. Now some customers, you even in spite of giving pamphlets and leaflets, people are not walking in. So you find a variance detection. Then you will actually identify what is the activity which we can do to ensure that customers walk into our store. Then we'll conclude it saying, okay, is this, so you will run 2 or 3 kinds of promotions, footfall driving in measure. Now you will figure out what is working. Out of 2 or 3 activities, you will figure out, and then you will conclude. And it's like saying, once people walk in, you will collect their database and keep them reminding, like rainy season coming now, time to change your tire. So what I'm saying is, this framework, which is called job action stages, now whatever job and that is why it is specifically called job action stages. If your job is to appoint a dealer, you will look at the framework slightly differently. If your job is to get more customers into the dealer network, you will look at the job slightly differently. So that's, and what I'm saying is in the first instance, you might see it a little unconfilled, but what we do in JobBridge is, let me come to the next slide. We teach you, like each and every stage, there is a module, there's a video module, and we specifically teach you how to think. How to think in pre-job planning stage. So we teach each and every step and then tell you how to think. These are the triggers to think for. That's one of the game that we actually played. So do you think that you can use this framework for any type of an industry? Do you agree with me? You have to
Yes,
unmute
sir,
your
we
mic.
can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we
Okay.
can.
Okay. So let's go on to the next game. Now, this is a game which I think I purposefully picked up because you're all young students. Now, this is a case of, I worked on this brand around 20, not to say 20, 15, 16 years back. This is a German company who used to be in Chennai. So they had this very small deodorant brand called Fa. Okay. And Fa was competing with very big multinationals like Hindustan Unilever, at that point of time. Then P&G even had a deodorant. So this was a small brand. This brand didn't have the big budgets and the distribution strength and the muscle to fight with a big company like Unilever. So I'm going to say, who is ready to volunteer to play this game? Let's play this game. The task is, you don't have the money, you don't have the budget to fight with a bigger competition. How do you fight? And this is the situation which all businesses are. Sometimes the odds will be stacked against you, but how do you do that? Who is ready to volunteer to play this game with me? It's very
Sir,
simple. Pardon?
I would like to pull in something, sir.
Okay. Your good name is Jitendra, if I'm right. I can say J.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, okay. So Jitendra, I mean, I'm going to show you something. I mean, again, I'm going to show you I'm not showing you the entire process. I'm going to take only small steps and then show you how we can think. Okay. So when you're thinking about a product or a service, you need to think through three lenses. And out of the three lenses, one is market lens. Okay. How is the market? How is the market structured? Now, within market lens, you look at customer segments and geographies. Now, customer segments is it youth segment? Is it old segment? That goes into detail, but I'm not showing you that detail at this stage. It can be geographies, like, I mean, some of the companies focus on metro markets. Some of the companies focus on rural markets. Some of the companies focus on tier 2 markets. So that is a whole science which we have in JobBridge. We will teach you, but I'm not showcasing this. But another very interesting thing is occasions and situations which can be focused on. Like, so now, and Jitendra is playing this game with me. Like, imagine Jitendra is going to an interview. Okay, Jitendra, what kind of a dress would you wear if you're going for an interview? Give me an idea. I mean, you can be right, wrong. Tell me.
A perfectly ironed white shirt with a black trousers and a good formal shoes and well-groomed hair, sir.
Fantastic, Jitendra. That's right. But Jitendra, fantastic. Now you have cleared the interview. Now you are giving a party for your friends. Okay, in the evening. How will you dress?
A semi-suit with a jean,
Correct.
a funky hairstyle for sure.
Superb. Fantastic. Now, fantastic. So, depending upon the situation, you are changing your dress, no, Jitendra?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Absolutely. And that is what actually happens in our life also. Okay. And do you all agree with that? Like, say, for example, let me just tell you, when I was, I mean, imagine like this happens to me most of the time. So, morning, sometimes when you're going to office, you are running late and you don't have time, you will just go to a McDonald's because everything comes very fast in 5-6 minutes. Okay. You don't have time, so McDonald's is the place to go. Okay. But when you have a little time, like say, for example, I am taking out a foreign client who's come into India. I am taking him out for dinner. Do you think I'll take him to McDonald's?
No, sir.
Absolutely correct. We want to show him, like if it is Tamil Nadu, I will take him to some Chettinad restaurant. Okay. So because it's fine dining, I'll take some time. We have all the time. He wants to see different cuisines, all that. So depending upon the situation, depending upon the time we have, depending upon the occasion, our whole decision making changes. And this applies to any product. Now, this can be Dio. We are just mapping it on Dio. This can apply to anything. I mean, it can apply to all the companies that come to your campus also. Like, let me just tell you, let's look at let's look at, say, for example, MRF. That's a company one of your seniors got into. So if MRF was wants to sell tires during the rainy season versus the summer season, because in rainy season the chances of skidding is very high. So MRF will, when they communicate or when they advertise, they will talk of grooves which can take away the water because that will grab the attention. But in summer, the task is slightly different. So what I'm saying is, any product, any service, depending upon the situation, you can actually start putting those lenses in your mind. So I'm going to show you a small video. Okay, hear the video out. I hope you can hear the video. Anyway, let's play it and then we'll see how we are going to solve this specific deodorant case. Okay. Okay, were you guys able to hear the audio?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me just quickly then sum up this video. So, like I was telling with Jitendra, speaking with Jitendra. So, Jitendra's choice, depending upon the situation, it changes. And that is what I was telling. I mean, the same example. The second point, what I told was, we behave very differently. You saw that image of the festive season lights during Diwali, during Pongal, during Christmas, during Eid, we will be a little more what you call liberal with our spends. Do we all agree on that? I mean, because we get our bonuses, we give gifts, we'll be a little liberal. I mean, and that so the occasion is actually different. It actually motivates us to actually spend more, motivates us to be a little more liberal, motivates us to enjoy a little more. That's a license that we have. Or you take like what I was showing that image saying when you go from a school to college, when you go from college to working, from working you get married, from married you become a parents, when from parents you become what you call little old age. All these situations, the choice of your products starts keep mean changing. Do we all agree on that? And that is what I was telling on the video. Do we all agree on this?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to show you how we can use that same this same principle that we saw to that deodorant stuff. How you were to, I mean, if you were working in Henkel and you don't have the budgets, now how do you fight a big machine like Unilever? I mean, and Axe. Oh, so this is what we did. So what we did like occasional situation. So if you'd actually see now, like what Jitendra was telling, you have work, you have parties, you have clubbing, you have socializing. So we were telling that can we have a deodorant which caters to that particular need? Because the deodorant that you work, I mean, that you put when you go to an office will be different from what you when you go to like say for example party, or like say for example morning, or even when you go out on a date, the kind of fragrance or the kind of dressing that you would do will be very very different. So what we did was we took all this fragrance that you're seeing here and mapped it like that. There is a certain set of fragrance for work. There is a certain set of fragrance for being active. There is a certain set of fragrance for winding down. So we, depending upon, because these are the occasions which people go through, and we mapped it and created that. So we created a massive difference in the market. Now we did this around 13 years back. It was a German brand, and it actually went back. I mean, it pulled out of India. But around one year back, ITC launched something which I think you should be knowing. ITC launched Engage deodorant, and if you'd actually see work and party, look at the way this idea, which is occasion and situation, India's leading FMCG company have used it for their product. A deodorant for work, a deodorant for party. Same simple thinking. So we took that framework, occasion and situation, and then applied it to a situation. So this is how we use one of the frameworks. I mean, or one of the many frameworks that we have in JobBridge. So this is again, as I told, this is from outsmarting competition and developing breakthrough products and services. Now let's play another game like Kevin Care. Who all knows Kevin Care? I mean, I think Kevin Care is one of the largest FMCG companies in the South. I mean, who wants to work here? Who wants to get into a role in Kevin Care? I mean, you give a shout out. Who wants to work in Kevin Care? Let's play a game. No one wants to work in Kevin Care. What's wrong with Kevin Care? Who wants to work in Kevin Care? No one wants to work in Kevin Care. Why? Any particular reasons? Can someone unmute their mic and say, no, you can dislike a company. There is nothing wrong in it.
Those who are interested in FMCG marketing, they have to show some interest.
No one likes to work. Okay, fine. Forget. imagine this is, which is the company that you want to work? Tell me. The group, tell me, and I will actually change it. No issues. Which is the company you want to work? Anyone can unmute their mic and speak.
Himalayas.
Pardon?
Himalayas.
Himalaya. Okay, fine. That's fantastic. So imagine,
Yes,
so
sir.
we are going to play the same game. Only thing is, don't think of it as what do you call Kevin Care. Think of it as Himalaya. That's it. We are going to play this simple game. Okay. Now, I
Okay.
just put Kevin Care because it's a Kevin Care is the largest FMCG company in South. Imagine you have the CEO of Himalaya and you have an HR person. Okay. You have to pass through these two people. No, it's very simple. If you want to get inside Himalaya, you have to probably pass in place of CKR, I mean, who is the CEO, there will be a different business head and you will have an HR person because you will have to clear these two people and then go for an interview. So imagine these people are coming to your campus. How do you research about that person or group of people when you don't know? You have to research about Himalaya. You have to research about who is the person who's coming into your campus for the interview. Now, I'm going to show you, this is from like winning at corporate sales module. So before I show you the framework, these are things I think this group knows this answer. So these are important things which senior executives care about. Like they are bothered about increasing revenue, decreasing cost, improving cash flow, decreasing customer churn, developing growth and innovation ideas. So as this Jitendra was actually telling me, saying that, I mean, you need to generate more ideas, and this is all generate ideas for doing all these stuff. And if this is in the mind of the CEO or the HR person or the business head who's coming into your campus, for you to differentiate, you should be talking about all these things to that senior person. So how do we do that? But before that, we need to research about that person. Okay. So research about the person, if we were to break it down, we need to research three components or three pillars. The first pillar is the person. Who is that person who is coming into your campus? Now you can search about that person in LinkedIn. You can search about that person in Facebook. You can search about that person in Google. You can search about the interviews given. And this can be done. Now there is no cost to it. It is only your effort. You just get onto the net and do that search about that person. Because when you know about that person, you can talk things which appeal to him. You can talk, you will know exactly what he is interested in, what is his areas of interest. Only then can you appeal to him and differentiate yourself in that interview. No, it's pretty simple as that. So do we all agree with this? Can people give me a shout saying yes? I mean, this can be done free of cost, nothing.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. The second area that which you have to look at is their business and their products. Like in the case of Himalaya, I mean, this what do you call, this group told they want to work in Himalaya. So you need to figure out, first need to go to Himalaya's website. Okay, the company website. You need to go to the company website, understand their products. What are the customers talking about it? So how do you find that? You can do all this free without any paying any money. You go to Amazon, you go to Flipkart, you go to Mouthshut. Mouthshut is a review site. You can talk about, like, say for example, and Amazon and Flipkart is full of reviews. So you take Amazon, Himalayas product, like say for example, baby care products. The baby care division is coming to your campus to hire. You go and figure out what is the kind of reviews which people are talking about. What are the good things? What are the bad things? So what is it? Sir, so when that person comes, you can say, a lot of people, customers are talking bad about this area. Sir, I have this idea. So you're differentiating yourself. That means you have taken interest, and that company knows that if this guy is taking the interest, this guy definitely needs to be with us. So beyond this, you can look at their investor reports. I mean, we teach you how to look at what you call investor reports, cash flows, publicly listed. Like another very popular site is, you can go to Money Control and pull up a balance sheet and see. We teach in JobBridge how to look at balance sheet, how to look at a cash flow statement, investor relationship presentations. All these are free and available to everyone. But I am telling you, 99% of the students don't do their homework when they go for an interview. 99%. And these are all very, very simple. It takes only 15 minutes to do, and you don't need to go in depth. If you take 2 or 3 points to an interview, your chances of you being different and you striking a job will be improving by 60 to 70% for sure. So these are simple things like you can do what you call social media search. You can call up any previous employees. Like if your senior is working in Himalaya, just call him up and figure out how are they? I mean, what do they look for? Very, very simple. Can you guys do this? Do you all agree with it? Give me a shout out. Yes, no, not possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So the fourth, I mean, the third area that we can look at is future trends in their business. Like say, for example, there are a lot of trade journals. There are a lot of consultants like us, like the bigger ones like BCG, McKinsey, PwC. They will be publishing a lot of reports about industries, categories. So go and read them. Just before, like say, for example, Jio is coming to your campus. Imagine. Now you need to understand what is 5G in India. Okay. Reliance is getting into 5G in a big way. So where is 5G coming? What are its application? What is it? You should have a point of view. And this is it. So these are in this slide that you see before a company or a person comes to your campus, just do all this stuff. It's so simple. Everything is free. And if you spend 1 hour doing this, your chances of striking that interview goes up by, I can give you guarantee 60 to 70%. Because I know I've been recruiting in campuses for the last close to about 15 years. No one does a big homework around that company and comes into an interview. So, but do this, and this is going to really, really differentiate you. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you a video. How we teach. I'm taking one of the principles and then showing you. I mean, we teach each and every step, like each and every what you call point that you saw on the previous slide. We have a video and we teach you also. I mean, even so, I mean, were you able to hear the audio?
No, sir.
Okay, so I think you saw what I just told in the video was very simple. What are the things, like I told you the sources, and I was telling you when you read, when you do your research, what are the points that you need to look for? And I showed you. And what I also was telling was beyond this professional world, you also look for, it's like saying, say for example, Jitendra comes from Karekudi. So I also come from Karekudi. So we make a personal connect. Jitendra likes cricket. I like cricket. So we bond on cricket. So what I'm saying is when you research about a person, I mean, professionally, you need to understand, put 80% of your effort there, but 20% you'll have to keep it for a little bit of personal connect. Because in an interview, if like after this interview saying that, I know, sir, you like cricket and you were a Ranji Trophy player, instantly you build a connect. So 80% professional, 20% personal. That's that little bit of connect that you need to keep. Another thing, okay, I mean, when are we, I mean, can someone unmute this thing and say, when are we supposed to stop? Is it 1.5 hours or can someone tell me when is the webinar stopping? Is it 1.5 hours or 1 hour? Hello?
Sir, we can plan for 1.5 hours, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so we told you how to research. Everything is free. Only put in the effort. And another thing is, typically sometimes what happens is you have to write a mail to them. Okay, so mailing, if you like in a in a college environment, we don't write very good mails because we are writing among our friends and we don't have a structure. But when you go to a professional environment, the kind of mails that you write forms impressions about you. Like, say, for example, let me take this example. Srinivasan, I have not seen Srinivasan. Srinivasan is one of the most brightest kids. Okay. Now, Srinivasan, for one reason, he didn't write a proper mail. Okay. First mail that I get from Srinivasan is little unstructured. I feel, okay, Srinivasan is not a very smart kid. But that's wrong. Srinivasan is a really smart kid. He just didn't write his mail properly. So that's people form impressions, especially if I have not seen that person. People form impressions of that person basis the mail. It's like saying when like a lot of people say, no, your CV is sometimes the person before you meet the person itself. So a mail sends out a signal saying, okay, this is the kind of professional this person is, because you have not seen, and the mail forms like a judgment anchor. Okay, so I'm not again playing this video here because you're not able to hear the sound. We teach in JobBridge how to write and structure mails. Okay, I'm going to talk of one very, very simple thing, which is like, say, for example, let me ask this question to this group. Let's play this game now. In a mail, what is the most important thing? Can you tell me what are the components of a good mail and what is the most important thing? Anyone can unmute their mic and speak, and there is no right and wrong answer. Let's play this game. No, I told I'm not a professor, I'm not a consultant, I'm not nothing. I'm just a senior in college. Let's play this
The
game.
addressing, the signatures.
Okay, important, very nice. Let
The
someone else
subject,
also
sir,
open.
which is to be pitched on. The subject which is to
Ab-
be pitched on. Short and sweet.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Your name was NP, if I'm right. I mean, I'm not.
Jitendra, sir.
Oh, sorry. I saw that earlier. Okay, but Jitendra, exactly right. Yeah. I mean, I think earlier someone said the signature. Yeah, these are all important. But I think the why I'm saying why Jitendra's answer is right is because look at when you open your mailbox, the first thing that you see is the subject line. You know who is sending it and the subject line. So if that subject line is not appealing, then you have a problem, because I won't open the mail. I'm a very busy person, or someone senior manager is very busy. That person, if that subject line is not crafted to perfection, that person is not going to read your mail. And probably you would have done all the beautiful work, all the research, or everything very nicely, but you just were not able to craft that subject line. So your mail, the whole effort has gone waste. So you shouldn't do that. Now I'll give you another example. Forget all this business and email and all that stuff. Now I am a person, I don't know to read Tamil, but I know Tamil. I like watching Tamil movies. I like Rajinikanth movies a lot. So if you want to go for a movie, the first thing that you actually see is a poster. Based on a poster is what we will like. Earlier there were no reviews, so in my time when I was in college, we will look out for posters. If the poster is fantastic, we will go for a movie. Same way is this with the mail. It's pretty simple. If the mail, the subject line is crafted to perfection, anyone will open this mail. And I think in this group, I think Jitendra only earlier told me saying that it is about what ideas I can give to increase the profit. So imagine someone is writing a mail, a crafted headline saying, two ways you are writing this to Mukesh Ambani. Imagine you're writing a mail to Mukesh Ambani saying, three ways to improve profits of Jio. Do you think, I mean, he will just see, what is this? Just want to see. He will open your mail. That's for sure. That's the power of a good crafted what do you call subject line. So what we do is in JobBridge we teach how to craft it. What is a good subject line? We make you so typically what happens is we show you a video and then tell you what are the things to do, what are five things to do, and then we'll make you write a mail itself. Because until you write you do something, you won't learn. I mean, it's like I believe in this philosophy saying that, I mean, you can't learn swimming through books. You have to jump into the water and learn it, no? So that's the philosophy. So this is how we teach, I mean, how to open, like, say, for example, how do you write a subject line? From the subject line, how do you open with a opening paragraph? How do you, what do you call, how do you solve that problem? This is your idea section. Jitendra has got 5 ideas for Jio. So how the product and service can solve, how Jitendra's idea can solve Jio's problem. Then you will say, okay, you are from this college, you have done these things. And then you will say, you attach your CV or something like that. So what we teach in JobBridge is very, very, very practical stuff, which is writing emails, how to think, I mean, how to go to interview and present yourself. We teach something which is pretty simple. You have to have your academic foundation, but those practical things is what we focus on. And because when I did this transition from academics to the practical world, I took a lot of time to study all this stuff. But so I know where students are actually struggling. So I thought, why not create something which will help the students? So another huge area, I mean, you will be doing in your corporate life is be speaking to people on phones, and you'll be like, sometimes your manager won't be in your home station. You will be reporting to someone sitting in Chennai, or you will be reporting to someone who's sitting in Bombay. I started my career first in Chennai, but I was reporting to a manager in Bombay. So, I mean, after about 4 months only, I met my manager, but till then we were speaking on phone. So phone conversations are something which is very, very, very critical. I mean, how do you structure a phone conversation? We teach you that on JobBridge, but again, I'm not playing the video because the audio is not. And very importantly, in this video, we teach you, like, say, for example, when you're calling someone for the first time, and if he's rejecting you, how do you counter that? How do you handle that situation? We teach you that here. I'm not playing the video. Another huge thing that you will do is you will be asked to make a lot of presentations. Now, this can be a presentation, because the fundamental rules of a presentation can work for an email, even for a conversation, even for an interview also. So I'm not going again playing this video for you. We teach you very simple steps, like 6 steps to craft a bulletproof presentation. These are steps that you have to do. 6 steps. Start with a grabber insight. What is your key idea? Like like Jitendra told, you say the subject line is the most important thing. 7 things which can improve the profitability. So you start with an insight. How do you connect the insight to the pain point or the opportunity of the business? How do you personalize? We teach you all this stuff. So coming to now, it's 5:20. I'm going to try and wrap it up, and then we can see. So what we teach what you saw was multiple frameworks from the 2 of the modules that we have. I'm not getting into the module details, but we believe in 3 simple things. These are the foundations that we have built JobBridge on. First thing is active learning by doing, in the sense, like, I can teach you how to write an email, how to make a phone call, or how to do a customer review, how to read a balance sheet. I can teach you, but until you do it, you are not going to learn. I mean, so we believe. So we teach you, and the whole idea behind JobBridge is we teach you something, we then make you practice it in the digital world. So, and that's one of the things. So, and what happens is when we tell you 5 things to follow when you write a subject line for an email, and then you write a mail, when you write it, it stays in your head. I mean, so that's how we do it. The second foundation that we have actually built JobBridge on is day-to-day practice, practical business things. Like, we are not about the theory. We are all about the practical side, how to make presentations, how to write emails, making sales calls, opportunity spotting. This is all what you do in your first 2 years. Like, a senior manager will come and tell you, okay, now go study the competition and come. That's it. Why is it not selling? Why are you not able to sell? So you need to do that. And we teach the practical stuff. I mean, you need to have your theory, but theory is really important. But we teach you very, very practical stuff. What I'm doing currently, what consultants did some time back, we teach you that in a structured, fun way. And the most important thing, which is like, we have a system where which we call the Facebook learning system. Because let me just tell you why what's so critical in management education. Like, say for example, Jitendra can write the subject line in a certain way. I can write the subject line in a different way. Srinivas will write the subject line in a different. Everything can be correct. But when we give you an exercise and we learn from each other, like in Facebook, you write a comment, I look at your comment, someone else is writing a comment, I learn from that. So imagine in your class, if there are 30 students, 30 students will approach the problem in 30 different ways. And you will learn from those 30 different ways in a very, very short span. So when you solve a problem, you are learning from ideas from 30 different people. And that's the edge which JobBridge. So we are built on JobBridge modules are built on these fundamental three principles: learning by doing, very, very practical stuff, and what you call the Facebook or the cohort system of learning, which generally the Harvard School actually follows. So let me see if I can show you. Let me see. Let me show you something so that then we'll wind up. Okay, I'm going to show you one of the interfaces. One second. If you'd actually see it now, can you see the right hand side of the slide? So we teach you, like, you
Yes,
see
sir.
this video. Yeah, we teach you in a video, and all these videos are very small videos. These videos are not more than about 3.5 minutes. So we teach you in a small video. Sometimes you will have to read something, then we will give you a case. Now this is the doing. So we give you a case. I think in this case, you will be playing the role of a national sales head. So we will push you. The system will push you, like, you are now the territory sales in charge of MRF. You are now the territory sales manager of TI cycles. Now this is the situation. What you will do? So different people will have different answers. And imagine these are 30 students. Now 30 students will answer these questions. So 30 students, and once you submit your answers, you won't be able to see the other person's answer until you submit it. And once you submit it, you will be able to see how did the other person answer. And you can vote. It's like Facebook. You just, like, here it is called voting. The best answer gets a maximum number of votes, and that, becomes the what you call the leaderboard. So what we are doing with JobBridge is we are enabling students to practice things, because that is what you need to practice in a business situation. Make a sales call, make a presentation, understand the competition, find a spot. How do you fight a bigger competition? We give you practice. We teach you something, we give you tips, and then you're supposed to do it. And that's that learning methodology that we have. I'm not going into the details. I'm going to go back and stop here. It's 5:26, 5 minutes. So this is the fundamentals. This is an idea saying this is how we teach you how to be effective in interviews, how to think, how to be smart, how to outsmart any other student that you'll actually face in the market. Now, I'm ready to take on any questions that you have around this. You can ask me any question, professional. Any questions on the subject matter that we discussed today, or even what is JobBridge, or how is it? Any questions that you can ask, because we have some more time. We have around 5-10 minutes. Unmute your mic and you can actually speak.
Sir, I have a particular job plan with me. It is a concept relating with costly items which has to be delivered. So there is a bigger problem in this time, like where the customer, the products have to be reached to the customers, but the items are really costly.
Okay.
So should I be making my geographical barriers to a constraint where I have to hire a personal person to make the deliveries, or can I be depending on other stuff?
Okay. Now you're asking something which is very technical. I will have to go to my framework to explain this to you, how you can use this. is something which is, if I can go a little faster. You can use the same framework. So the first question is, what is the cost of risk for you? Like, because you are saying that you're going to do deliver something which is very valuable. So the first person, where can this parcel go wrong? The parcel is in touch with a carrier.
The company, if yeah, with the carrier, or like
Correct.
somewhere it can get damaged due to the transportation problems and something like
Exactly,
that.
exactly. So let's understand, this is how you think in business, and this framework actually teaches you that. So it starts with first, now how do you verify the credentials of the person who's carrying this? Because end of the day, if it is something which is very valuable, you don't want any person to actually come. It's like Uber or even Ola doing it currently. You will go and verify the credentials of this person. Where is he? What is his address? All this needs to be checked, because if you are running that business in a all India level, if someone has to pick up a parcel for you in Delhi and deliver it in, say, Punjab, you should know that person, no? So what is his credential? What is his background? So that's the first check. The second check, what you are telling, is it something which is very fragile? Is it something which is chemical? So what are the kinds? So this is where this step actually comes into play, where you'll use this framework to understand. So what is the planning that you need to do? In the execution, where can it go wrong? Now, if it goes wrong, how do you do the variance correction? How do you conclude the job when he is giving? It's the same framework. It's so, I mean, I'm actually in this what you call 1 hour, I'm not able to explain in great detail, but inside JobBridge, what we actually do is we teach you that how to think in this framework. What you're telling, the same situation can be mapped on top of this. How does the execution happen? He has to first pick the item. Now, after picking the item, he has to sign for it. So we use this job action stages mapping to map out the process and then do the thinking. It's pretty simple like that. But fantastic question. So it's also an example to showcase that this framework, which is called the job action stages, can apply to anything. Software development, you tell, we can actually map the process out. So this is one of the things that we actually teach in JobBridge. Next, I mean, have I answered you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, anyone else in the group, any questions? No questions?
Sir, how do I get into JobBridge?
How do I get into JobBridge? Okay. So, Jitendra, I've actually not launched JobBridge officially out. I mean, so at this stage, I'm doing a pilot with some colleges. So that is why I'm speaking to your college. So I wanted to speak to Professor Emmanuel, everyone. So if your college is actually interested in, I will actually give you a special access. So that's how we are actually doing that. We are not put it out in the web currently, but if any college is particularly interested in doing, I mean, understanding the modules in JobBridge, we'll open it up so that you can access it from your homes. So that's how we have actually designed it. So I just want to ask. So what I would suggest is please discuss this with your profs in college, and I can do one more follow-up webinar which I expose finer details of these modules, because today I didn't speak about what is the module, what am I talking in the module, because that's a little different. This is just to give you a certain framework. Like if I were to come back here, like if you'd see these two modules, I can do a webinar which focuses on what is the content inside these modules, which I can do that. I would suggest you discuss with your profs and then tell me, we can set up a webinar like this. Any questions?
Mr. Franklin, Emmanuel here.
Yeah, Mr. Manuel.
Very nice session, sir. Committed statements and very exhaustive, material. Sorry that we could not support your videos.
No.
Presenting in Teams, we have some hitch-ups, sir. We should have got the videos from you before and something like that. I'm sorry for that.
Right. No issues.
Tell them that, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Otherwise, very clear and crisp presentation. Sir, what do you want to say them, sir? On daily basis, one activity at least they should do. Can you suggest that student, sir?
Okay. So Professor Emmanuel, if like, so what I would suggest is, like, say for example, let me just show you. If you're talking of an activity,
Yes.
Let me do that. Like, say for example, we can do this activity for every student. That's in 1 week. What we can actually do is, imagine you have 30 students in your class, or 30 students. Everyone will have a different company to work for. Like, I like Kevin Care because I come from the FMCG world. Someone said they like Himalaya. Someone will like MRF. Someone will like Salem Steel Plant. Someone will like Carrot Lane. Someone will like TCS. So if we were to take 30 students, will take 30 different companies, and they will do this research about who is that CEO, what are 5 things about them, what is 5 things good about their product, what are 5 things which is bad about their product. Look at their balance sheet, look at their cash flow statement. 5 insights, if we were to write it down, that's a fabulous exercise. And what we can do is, probably in the class, students can come and discuss. I researched about Himalaya, someone else researches about Amazon, someone else researches about Unilever. That becomes a big learning exercise. It's fun also. It is not, and all these resources that we are talking here, is everything is free on the web. So we can actually, that's a fun exercise, and that we can actually do. So Professor Emmanuel, what happens is, in JobBridge, all these modules that we teach, there are exercises. No module goes on without an exercise. Everyone has to do an exercise there.
Okay. Any clarifications, you can put it to your class counselor or your faculty mentor, because it is already time. Students, please understand that. And if you have any questions or you want any clarifications, please forward your request. We will duly send it to Mr. Franklin and get it back answered.
Absolutely. So shall we then? I think it's 5:38. I think the kids would the students will also be, on an evening, on a Friday evening, they would be eager to have their own life. So can we stop? Did you guys enjoy the session? I enjoyed it. Speaking to young people, and I think the questions, like someone said that they want to start a business of transporting high valuable stuff. It's a fantastic idea. Fantastic. No one is doing it currently in India. So I personally learned a lot. I enjoyed the session. Did you guys enjoy the session? Was it something which was interesting, or was it boring?
No, sir. It was definitely a good session. On behalf of Sona School of Management, I deem it a great privilege in thanking Mr. Subhash Franklin, Principal Consultant, Growth and Innovation, InnoMantra, and founder of JobBridge, for investing so much of time and efforts in explaining us the process of recruitment and how a candidate should show himself as a unique candidate, and how he can differentiate himself in a very meticulously framed process. Thank you so much for that, sir. And we also learned a lot about how a job should be pre-planned, and how the variance should be detected, and how it should be rectified along with the job conclusion and post-conclusion. So thank you so much for such a wonderful and valuable session, sir.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Good day to you.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I also know, keep in record Mr. Sridhar from CIS Salem, who has taken the efforts to bring this to a program. Thank you.
Thanks, Sridhar. Thanks, Sridhar. Bye.
Bye.